Heidi ho, neighbors. How are you doing? Okay. I did record another video after the paint videos that the watercolor videos I did a few days ago. So my hope is to put out a video maybe once a week, but I'm about to start back up in school, so that just means who knows what until I get my assignment due dates and all that. So hello, I am Mary and I love watercolor. Did we talk about that? So the other day in the video we talked about the Cosmic Gansai Tombi colors and the Aurora colors, and there's another video that's, I only have like 3 videos posted at this point in my life, so that is one of them. And then I talked about wanting to get these. I ended up getting them and I thought I would share some. So I did one video already and I'm not sure if that'll end up in here or not, but I am going to show you now the end result of that video. And even if I don't show you the video, this is cool. So what I did was the whole background, except for this portion, is with the graphite colors. And then the this red over here I think is a little bit of Cosmic red. Honestly, this long story short, all my colors are mixed up, so they're not in the right spot. So anyways, this was I think Cosmic red. All the rest of the background is the new Graphite colors, which we're gonna do again right here, including this girl down here. Isn't she cute? I painted it on the fly with the paper laying flat and my face far away, so I don't think I did too bad. I think she's pretty cute, and that's what it says, is kawaii, which is cute. This is a stamp that I carved out myself of the fish, and then I went in with some of the watercolors and went over top of the black spots. And this is a stamp that I made also. I carved out because I can't stand when you use the stamp and you have just a little corner left, and I'm not throwing it away. I'm going to carve out another stamp. And then I drew the picture, kind of like a little Japanese theme going on there, which I thought was pretty cool since the paints are from Japan. And then this is a stamp that I bought at Hobby Lobby. And then I just did some stenciling there with this luster wax Sizzix gold, and yeah, just did a marker line, and that was kind of it. Did a little stenciling over here, a little stenciling over here, just give some extra interest. This eventually will probably be a journal cover. So there's that. I did not prepare again, so I have dirty water. So sorry, don't be mad at me. I have some brushes that I'm going to throw out, which I'll probably end up using those one most of the time. Unless I'm painting. If I'm just doodling, I usually like that wide brush, but these are my professional paint brushes that I got from Amazon. So these ones are in order: graphite red, yellow, green, blue, violet, brown, all graphite. So those ones are easy to remember, and they are still in order. So I got a tin, which I thought was a little bigger than this, but let's face it, I'm not good with measurements. And although I knew these were in here, I thought these were half pans. Are they not? And so I typed in tin for full pan. This came up, and then this is what I got. It will only fit 2 of the palettes. It wouldn't. I think it'll only actually fit 10 of these. So I don't know what I'll do. Maybe I'll just fill these, whatever. But it's really cool. Amazon. Yeah, Monet is my favorite. If that is a thing. Okay, I sprayed these pretty good. So I did get, okay, these are extremely pigmented. I learned that in the first video. Extremely pigmented. I'm gonna put my paper towel over here so you can see it when I dab on it. So I just, can you see the teeny tiny amount of paint, of pigment that I just got on that brush, which is but basically like a fingernail of that. And let's see how far that goes. Look at that. That is so. So at this point, I sped up the video because I am really bad at trying to figure out what I'm going to do and talking at the same time, and it's just bad. You'll probably notice sometimes when I do voiceovers, I can talk more clearly, only just a little bit. Anyways, I'm just trying out the colors to show what they're like, and I'm basically having the plan of making a background on this sheet, because whenever you do a background, you can always doodle on it, you can always Zentangle, you can stamp on it, you can do all sorts of things, and later on you can cut it up, make tags out of it, or whatever you want to do. Majority of the time I use it for a journal cover, and that is the intention today, but also to try out these graphite colors, which are really cool. And I just kind of go in order with the red, the green, the yellow, I believe it is, green, blue. I can't remember the order that they're in, but there's definitely, and that one's the blue one that I'm just now using, which is one of my favorites. And this is the picture from before. The girl's hair that I did, and the darker places that look kind of black, I used the blue and just intensified it. And that's the green. And I'm drawn to blue, so I keep accidentally going in it. And the last one is violet, which is very, very dark. And you can also use, in fact, I actually might have done the girl's hair in violet, now that I think about it, because it is so dark when you use it in a concentrated time. So now I just wanted to sprinkle some water on here and just kind of see the magic of what happens. And the stuff on the left side is still wet, and the stuff on the right side has dried, so you can see the difference that it makes. If I was to rub my paper towel on the right side like this, it removes pigment completely and can lighten up an area, or highlight an area if you needed to. And then of course on the other side it removes pigment. It removes the pigment too, but it has already created a little pattern, which is pretty cool. And as I go forth here, I'm really just playing around. That's why I sped it up, because it's indecision and trying to decide what I want to do. And I was talking to, I can't remember if I cut this part out, I might say it twice, but I was talking to my biggest fan, and we were discussing, among many things, what's coming up. And one of my other videos, which was a Raven journal that I did. Well, that journal, I sold it right away after I had posted it. And so instead of Halloween journal, I wanted to do another Raven or Edgar Allan Poe journal. So this will be the cover for that, most likely. Hopefully it turns out good at the end. I already know what it looks like at the end of this session, and I'm happy with it. I like it, but we'll see what you guys think. I have just a few more seconds of the voiceover, so now I'm just drawing out a raven on camera, which is difficult, but it turns out okay. So keep watching. This is what always happens when I make a video and I watch it before I post it. I end up chopping out so much of it because I'm just mumbling during it. So I'm just gonna, even though I shared some good stuff there, I'm just gonna go ahead because the audio wasn't that great, but I'm just going to go ahead and do the first layer of the raven with the Graphite Violet, which looks very dark at times, but it's perfect for, I think, for the raven, because if you've ever seen one, they do glimmer like blue and purple sometimes in the light, and then sometimes they just look straight black and dark. But I had drawn the outline, so I'm just kind of filling in the outline and then adjusting little details that I wanted to add to it. Reality is that it turned out a lot better than I thought it would because of the angle I was trying to work with, and that's what I'm talking about now. Like, my phone is in front of my head and there's a shelf in front of me, and it's hard, I can't lean in and look close to it, so my eyes are far back from it, so I'm afraid that the proportions from like the head to the breast or whatever is out of proportion. But it did turn out pretty good, and it definitely looks better than my first attempt, which turned out look like a cute little penguin. That was the one that I did last year. So sometimes when I watch videos, they play music, and I enjoy the calmness and peacefulness of it, but sometimes I actually fall asleep on it. And then other times I feel like the person talking really talks a lot to where it's maybe a little bit much. So I'm trying to find that balance, but I don't necessarily want to play music because you can't play good music. It just has to be some random nonsense, and I don't feel like searching that out. That's the only reason I don't want to play music. But I wonder if you can hear the train in the background. I wonder how good my microphone picks up. But anyways, I'm just finishing out the legs and just kind of sharing how I am looking at a random picture of a raven off there to the side. You can see my iPad set up that I pulled up from Google, and the feet in the picture, and it's just a picture, it's like a generated picture, it's not a real picture, and I can tell because of the pixels that are around the edges. There's like granulated grass. It was weird, but I can't see the feet very well, and what I did here was just kind of sketch them straight out, and I do them backwards first because there's one claw in the back and two in the front, and I did it backwards at first, and immediately I said, I don't think that's right. But that's the cool thing about watercolor is if that was not dry enough to wipe off, I could just add a little water and I could remove that by either pulling the pigment back up with my paintbrush or by wiping it off with the paper towel. And again, since I'm not a professional, I use my paper towel tool a lot. But I do go ahead and sketch out these feet with the brush, and then I go back later and add the details with paint and marker, like permanent black marker, just to add really some darkness to it. And to be honest with you, as I look at this from here, I feel like I could have almost stopped there with the raven. It looks like a shadow-esque picture, which would have been really cool. And just kind of shows you how working with watercolor, I mean, say for instance you don't think you could draw out the shape, you could still trace a shape onto your paper or whatever you're going to paint on, and then fill it in with the paint and probably turn out pretty good. I did have a little bit of problem at the end with some of my pencil marks showing, so as soon as you can erase those after you don't need them any longer, it's a good idea. So I had to go back in and maybe cover up a little. So right now I decided to pull some colors from the other palettes, the Cosmic and the Aurora, and then I even pull in my regular Kuretake paint set. You'll see me pull it out in just a minute to just add a little differences. And I thought I had dropped one of my little palettes that are in front of me, and all of the paints fell out, and I just threw them back in, and they're all out of order. So I wanted to be able to say it correctly when I told you what it was. So I decided to just swatch them out and let you know. This one is the Cosmic Blue. I should probably do a picture, another picture or a short snippet of how these looked when they dried, but I do set them up there to let you watch. This one is the green. So, has anybody else had a sore throat for like 2 weeks? I sure have. It's the weather. I know it is. Our weather recently went from 100 and the hottest in the world. It was like 97 one day, and today it is 73. I'm not kidding. It rained and it's cold. I have a sweatshirt on. Sorry. Okay, so the first 3 colors, these are the Cosmic colors. Again, the violet, and the second one is Cosmic Olive, not just green, because there is a green also. The third one is Cosmic Blue. And the Cosmic Blue has brown in it, has a tan in it. It's really cool. The Cosmic, I keep going back and forth and saying I feel like the Cosmic is my favorite, but then when the Aurora dries, I love it too. So these are all of my favorite. Then is the Cosmic Green, and that one's really pretty. I can't for sure say what the second color is, maybe like a light blue. And then lastly is the Cosmic Red. And I was just pointing out when you get that the last pan in these two sets is empty on purpose. Don't think you got missed a color, but I guess just to give you a little place to mix, but you're really going to need a bigger spot. I mean, as you see me fumble around with it, I should have my dish out and making a palette, but I don't. I really want to get a tin to store them all in, but I might have to find one in person that they'll actually fit in because they're huge. Another reason I love them. And the last one, this is the Aurora, and it is the red is first. And I think when I first do the first Aurora red and Aurora pink, I kind of mixed them, and when they dried they looked exactly the same, and so I redid those. But then after that one is the Aurora orange, even though it looks kind of greenish, the Aurora blue, and then the Aurora violet is last. So yeah, that one in the middle is orange, but it looks green. When it dries, it has a green background with orange flakes in it, which is really cool. And then the last row is the Graphite, which is the ones I've been using mostly today in this video. And these ones are red, yellow. That one is yellow. I double checked it. The next one is the green. I ended up swatching them. They dried really dark. They're beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So, but you would have to have, you would have to know what you want to paint with these. You would have to have a vision of those dark colors in mind in order to do it. Yep, and then the last one is the brown. Super cool colors, I love them. So I'm pretty much gonna do fast forward through the rest of the video. It's just me here finishing up these swatches, catching the puddles, which are really the best part, but I wanted to set that up so you could see them dry and how they looked as they dry. And if it was laying down flat, I would just let those puddles lay there, and they make really cool differences in the color and like kind of like a texture look as it would dry. But since I set it up like that, I had to catch them. I didn't want them to contaminate the other colors. But here I'm just kind of trying to get the effect on the bird of feathers. And first I can't get the exact color I want, but so I just keep going until I get it. That's really the key of it all, is to not give up. And again, I'm watching it and I'm just like, oh, it looks really cool from here, but when I was doing it I just couldn't even see it. So I think maybe I should paint like this more often when I can't see as well. There's a couple times where I get my brush exactly loaded with paint the way I want it, and then it runs out, and then I'm like, oh yeah, gotta start all over. But just gonna keep going. And I did want to talk about the process at the end a little bit. I think I guess I can do that when I show you it at the end. But at the very, very end, there's a couple other things that I wanted to make sure I share. And I was noticing there on the palette that the swatches that I put up, that they were really dark. Again, we learned this together. Pigment is heavy with that graphite. This is where I get out my regular Kuretake palette, which, you know, this is probably the most money I've ever paid on a watercolor palette, I guess. I have a couple other. I've gone in when Hobby Lobby or somewhere like that had theirs on sale, and I bought one, and then I believe I ordered another one. Not really sure. I have two other ones that are a good quality, but these colors are just different. And look at that palette. It has 3, 4, 5 greens that we can see from here. 6 greens. So it's just really cool. The colors that they give you are different, and they are bold and fun. So you can use them in a watercolor manner, or you can use them darker than you would normally. So I was getting the feathers going really good right here in this section, and they were looking pretty cool, and then I cleaned them up, and now they're gone. I have to redo them. That just keeps happening. And then at the end, yeah, I kind of change it again, but I want to do another one, basically, is what I'm saying. I want to do this again. Is anybody else inspired to maybe paint a bird? I think next time I would do maybe more purple underneath. Maybe a darker purple underneath or something. Anyways, that one right there, it looks pretty good right there. But I continue to mess with it and change things. I guess I will eventually have to buy another brand of watercolors just so I can say these are the best ones I've tried, and that meant I have tried other ones. But so far, this is the most awesome paint. I love it. So now I start thinking that the raven looks pretty good. He still needs an eyeball, he still needs his feet fixed, and his tail feathers and things like that, but it has that really kind of dark feel that I was going for, with the rest of the picture was very light. So I decided to darken this, and then I'm going to switch over in just a minute, and I needed to pull that picture up off the flat surface so I can let my paint run down, because I just love that. So that's what I'm doing, is filling up my brush with water, and I'm trying to keep it from going under the tape. I was trying to protect that white border. Until I decide I don't want the white border, I'm going to keep the white border. So as it drips down, I'm trying to protect the bird. Dwayne! Just kidding. And if anybody gets that reference, we should be best friends. But now I'm going to go ahead and put a lot of water across. Yes, and in that little white area that I just covered up with paint, the tape did peel. It never fails. A little bit of my paper up. It's not really a big deal. It's completely coverable. Didn't rip the page. It just peeled a layer of paint off, and so I'm going to add dark. Just keep adding paint and water until I get the effect that I want. Spoilers, I will let you know that at one point the water drips into the bird, and I panic. But I also have listened to part of my audio as I was recording this, and I've done it in pieces. and I realized that you can hear my air conditioner and my voice is not very loud, but as you can tell, I'm losing my voice and I have a sore throat. So I just can't talk any louder. And I did try to turn the microphone down and move it closer so you couldn't hear the air conditioner, but now it's going to cause the continuity of the audio throughout the video to be different, which is annoying, and I apologize. I'll do better next time. But here we got some really cool drippage. I'm not sure if I catch on video when it runs down into the bird, because I just go a little crazy at one point. Okay, I have about a minute or two of video left of me painting, and I moved the picture closer to me and didn't realize until it was too late that it was out of the camera shot. So in a minute it's just gonna go straight to the end result for as of right now when it was dried, and I will go ahead as the journal continues on to explain what I did after the camera quit, so that you'll know all the different things. One of the things that I decided to do, which I'm not sure was a great idea or not, was do some glazing over some of the bird's feathers and a little bit of its head. And I did it free-handed, which worked out good for the feathers, but not for the head. I did too much across its head, but here it comes, and let's see what you think. After I did it, it was a little shiny, and then I had to sand down the shininess a little bit, and then I sanded off some of the color and some of the details of the feathers. So then I added some more feather back anyways, and then I added some more drippage, and that red that drips down, it goes right into its beak. I was like, I did not intend for that to look like a pool of blood under it and dripping on it, but that's exactly what it is. I love the red underneath. I think it looks really cool, but I didn't really mean for it to look like blood. But anywho, that's how it changed, that's how it's turned out, and I'll just keep adding things as I finish this journal. Let me know what you think, because I'm thinking about submitting this one at the local fair when it's all done, but that's only in a couple weeks. So thanks for watching.